map of our district. Thank you. This is a map of our district, and I highlighted some of the transformational projects that have happened with STARS. So you'll see in the center, in our square, is the Earl Scruggs Center. That's the old courthouse. The city pavilion is shown. The brewery is on there. But as you can see, they're all kind of in other areas of Uptown Shelby. The red star is this project that we're going to be talking about, the Campbell Building. That's and you can even see Campbell Street. So it's a pretty major building. It's one of the taller buildings in our district, and one of the biggest for sure. It's about 28,000 square feet. So this is the building before the renovation, and just for sheer size, it was built around 1927. And the who, these are the families who did the project. So the couple in the upper left-hand corner, that's Cliff and Angela Franklin. They are, Cliff is a doctor and Angela is a nurse, and Duncan is Angela's son, and Alyssa on the right is his wife. And they are the ones who own the building and had the vision for the project. And in the bottom right-hand corner are the Stacy and Travis Walker and Brandon Fitzmaurice, who are with Walker Woodworking, which I'll explain became Greenbrook Design. So this is a picture of the facade before and after. I want to run through the pictures so you have a sense of the scope of the project when we talk about it. They won an appearance award from our appearance commission, and so you can see they replaced the transom, the doors, they really finished the storefront nicely. This is the first floor. It became, Walker Woodworking is a custom cabinetry company in Shelby. They've been around for a long time, and they make really, really high-end cabinets. Most of their customers are in Asheville and Charlotte and Greenville, South Carolina, and they wanted to expand into a showroom because they often bring people in for the day to do design, and they just had a corner of their plant where they were showing people around. So they came to me in 2013 actually and said, we want to have a showroom in Uptown Shelby, but we don't want to own the building, and we want to have a really nice space. We don't want to buy, and none of the landlords you have right now are going to build it out to our standards. So they didn't do anything in 2013. And this is an after, that's in view. So they built out a design showroom. It's a kitchen and bath design showroom, but they really are retail as well. They've since expanding into this space, which is about 6,000 square feet on the ground floor, and then they have the mezzanine, which is another 1,000 plus square feet. They've expanded into more retail because people know that they're there, and they have their cabinets from other people, but they're coming for tile or hardware or countertops or other finishes. And they decided to rebrand as Greenbrook Design. So Walker Woodworking still makes the custom cabinets, but Greenbrook Design is the broader showroom that includes everything, including some of their cabinet lines. So this is Duncan. There was no heat in the building at this point, so it's really cold. And this is the second floor, or third, depending on who you talk to. It's above the mezzanine. And obviously, it's cleaned up, but this was before any work happened. And the plan for this space was to turn it into an event venue. So this is the event venue. It's called Uptown Indigo, and it's gorgeous. That's all the original tin ceiling, and Walker Woodworking did the build out for the cabinets, the bar, and everything. We did a Google Business workshop there the other day. That's just to give you a sense of how many people can fit in this space. I think their capacity is like 220. It's huge. This is the top floor, pre-work, obviously. This is after. They call that Steeples. It's another bar, kind of a smaller, more intimate space, a little bit more corporate, less kind of cute, I guess. And this is the kitchen. So they created kind of an unusual top floor. It's a residence, but there's a private residence in half of it with bedrooms and bathrooms. And in the other half is this space. That's the bar. There's going to be a really nice refurbished pool table, this kitchen. Walker Woodworking did all the build out of the cabinets. And it's their home kitchen, but it's also available for rent as part of the event venue. And lastly, they added a rooftop terrace. So the angle's a little confusing. This is looking up the stairwell, and then the view on the right is the view out towards the mountains from the rooftop. And that's also, same thing, semi-private, part of their residence, but it is available for rent as part of the event venue. So in terms of our economic development strategy, it's not, Liz, I'm sorry, it's not really the traditional structure, but we decided that we wanted to be a local and regional destination for shopping, dining, and live music. And this whole project really plays into that, because in every piece of it, local and regional, shopping, dining, and live music, it's a destination because people come in for events. People come who have never been to Uptown Shelby. We have a surprising number of brides who are based in Raleigh who are getting married at Uptown Indigo, which is really neat. People coming back who are from Shelby or even from Charlotte, coming to get married there, so that's bringing in a lot of people who've never been to our district before. And then certainly, as I mentioned, Walker Woodworking and Greenbrook Design pull in a lot of people from the larger region, Charlotte, Asheville, Greenville, and so they're coming and spending a day, and they eat lunch and they'll go wander around and spend time in our district, so that's really exciting. The shopping, as I mentioned, Greenbrook is somewhat of a retail space. It's kind of becoming more so, which is neat. Dining, they have food events actually at both places. We have an olive oil store, and Greenbrook Design has partnered with the olive oil store to do a lunch that featured the olive oils in different ways, and they have a live kitchen in the ground floor, the main space of Greenbrook Design, and so they did that, and they are also planning to do more kind of food classes and food demos, which is exciting. And then of course, Uptown Indigo hosts events, and they're planning to get into more ticketed events, so that they'll have, for instance, a whiskey tasting event and buy a ticket and attend with appetizers and everything. So we think that's pretty cool. And then of course there's spillover for both businesses. People stay and eat, which is great. And lastly, live music, again, at both places. Greenbrook Design has started hosting completely of their own accord, which I love. They've started hosting what they call First Fridays, and we have Second Saturdays already, but they started First Fridays, and it's 5 to 7, and they always have live music, and they have a different theme every month. This month it was luau, one month it was farmer's market, one month it was local artisans, crafts, and they just give away beer and wine and show off their gorgeous space. So it's really starting to get popular, and they'll give tours of Uptown Indigo up to the rooftop, and everybody wants to see that view. So that works out really well, and it draws people into our district because it ends at 7, and the food is not substantial, so people nibble and then have a drink and then say, oh well, let's go get dinner. So it's really fantastic. And then Uptown Indigo has live music often at their events, and they are planning to do more events with live music, again, as ticketed events, so we're excited for them to do that. And lessons, Liz mentioned how this could be replicated in other towns. Honestly, good property owners, you all know that, but good property owners make such a difference. And one of the things that really made this possible was the fact that the property owner's goals for the building aligned really well with Stacy and Travis Walker with the custom cabinetry, and they all have really high standards, and they all want to do everything to a really high quality, and not everybody is willing to do that, and it's important to find tenants and property owners who align in their goals for their space, because I know we have some business owners who have high standards, but they chose to locate in a building where the property owner is not willing to maintain the building to their high standards and not willing to spend the money, and you all know that doesn't end well. So, so that was really important. And I mentioned in 2013, the Walkers came to me and said, we want to have a showroom in Uptown Shelby. There wasn't anything that was a good fit. So in February 2015, after the Franklins bought this building, and they were telling me they weren't sure what they were going to do with the first floor or the mezzanine. They had no idea. They were thinking, you know, who in the world is going to want to open a 6,000 plus square foot single commercial space in Uptown Shelby right now? Because we have a lot of businesses opening, but it's, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 square feet, not 6,000. And they were talking about subdividing it, and it was going to mess up the, you know, historically it was a furniture and kind of department type store, and it really shouldn't be subdivided in terms of maintaining the integrity of the space. And I said, well, hang on, why don't you talk to these people, the Walkers? They didn't know each other, and just see if that would be a good fit, because they were interested in this block of buildings back in 2013, but they didn't want to buy it, and they wanted to be in a building where the property owners got their vision and were willing to match their level of quality. And they met, and now they're good friends, and it worked out really well. So I'm thankful for that. Another lesson I would say is to consider existing companies, not to poach them necessarily. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if they choose to move, they choose to move. But I would have never guessed that a custom cabinetry business would want to expand in Uptown Shelby. That just, it wouldn't have struck me as something to pursue. But they're a really well-respected business in the company and very well established. And so they have the capital and the brand in place to be able to expand in such a big way. And then don't count anyone out. Like I said, I would never have expected a design showroom in Uptown Shelby, especially such a big one, but it really is phenomenal. And when they had their grand opening, I don't watch HGTV, but you may. Brian Patrick Flynn is one of the designers on that show, and he came and was kind of their special guest, I guess, and he walked around Shelby and put it all over his Instagram story, and he had people come from Atlanta and Charlotte to Shelby for the weekend just to see him, and it really established Shelby, kind of, again, contributed to us being a destination. So that's all. I don't know if